is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
And welcome into the News at 6 on this Wednesday evening. I'm Amanda Starrentino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. First tonight, with an increase in COVID-19 cases in Indiana, the governor has announced the state will stay in stage 4.5 for at least 2 more weeks. That's where we've been since July 1st, when Governor Eric Holcomb decided not to move Indiana to stage 5 and postponed plans to fully reopen the state. So most outdoor events like parades and fairs can operate as scheduled, but with reduced capacity. Bars and nightclubs will still have a 50% capacity limit, and restaurants can only open up to 75% capacity.
And while the state is staying in stage 4.5, they are giving schools the green light to open back up to its students. Governor Holcomb said local districts should work with their county health department to figure out the best options for their community. Megan Sanctorum is working to find out why decisions are being left to local school boards instead of a statewide mandate.
Deciding how and when to start bringing kids back to the classroom isn't easy.
There's so many moving pieces and parts.
District leaders with guidance from the health department are creating their own plans for the school year. Some plan to start in person, others completely virtual. One district, Wayne Township, is even offering both options to parents.
I think if you talk to any superintendent, they would tell you this is the most challenging opening of school that they have ever experienced in their career, and probably will.
Some people say they wish the state provided set standards for how school districts should start the year. But Governor Holcomb says that could vary county by county.
And if I have a bias, it is toward home rule and local control and understanding that they know their situation the best. They're not just physical building, but what they're capable to pull off inside the plan that they have to execute.
And he says it's important to get kids back to the classroom.
Yes, we're going to put a premium on live, but it also is about our livelihood. And this includes the way our kids are instructed and what they learn. And we don't want there to be loss there just because we're all going through this the first time.
He and Dr. Box say the state likely will not provide mandates for schools unless counties start to see COVID positivity rates climb to around 10%.
We talked about that yin and yang, the balance of giving us the guidance necessary to be able to open safely, but at the same time being respectful of individual communities and the circumstances that exist.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
The streets of the city of Indianapolis closed to help promote outdoor dining during the pandemic will remain shut down a while longer. Today, the Department of Public Works announced the closures of Mass Ave, Georgia Street, and Broad Ripple Avenue will be extended through the Labor Day weekend. The closures were scheduled to end this coming weekend. COVID-19 cases in Indiana are increasing as the number of people hospitalized because of the virus. Today, the State Department of Health reports 700 new COVID-19 cases. That is 38 more new cases than were reported yesterday. So far, 53,370 people in our state have been diagnosed. The Department of Health confirms 10 new deaths from COVID-19. Since the pandemic started, 2,592 Hoosiers have died from coronavirus. The state says more than 586,000 people have been tested for COVID-19, and 9.1% of them tested positive for it. The number of COVID-19 hospitalizations has jumped quite a bit. 881 people with coronavirus were in Indiana hospitals as of yesterday. That's 114 more hospitalizations than on Monday. On Sunday, 764 people were in the hospital with COVID-19.
2 huge retailers will soon require you to wear masks while shopping. This evening, Kroger announced starting on Wednesday, July 22nd, all customers at all locations will have to wear a mask. And earlier today, Walmart said that face coverings would be mandatory for its customers starting Monday, July 20th. This impacts all Walmarts and Sam's Club locations.
6:04 by 8:04, 2 hours from now, strong storms will be entering western Indiana. This is our view to the west right now. We won't see storms develop during that time frame. We'll inherit them from Illinois. The impact will be a damaging wind threat, especially in the western portion of state, Lafayette to Terre Haute and Vincennes, with the arrival of the storms. They should lose strength as they move to the east. Tornado threat will be low. Lightning, lots of that with this, as well as some heavy rainfall. Dry in central Indiana. We've been keeping our eye on this storm. It has a chance, if it keeps moving east, to clip Benton County. That's been producing some severe weather over in Illinois. Here's the main event for us impacting the viewing area from Springfield down to St. Louis. That's moving east quickly at 45 miles per hour. I think it enters the state around 8 o'clock tonight. We'll time it out for the overnight and look ahead coming up.
Tonight, a Kokomo woman faces federal charges accused of extreme animal abuse. We warn you, some of this information is graphic. The FBI says 19-year-old Crystal Scott is accused of making and distributing animal crush videos. Those are videos that show the extreme mutilation, torture, and killing of animals. The FBI raided a home in the 2000 block of South 300 West in Kokomo Tuesday. This after the FBI says an investigation found that Scott had allegedly been posting images and videos showing her graphically killing dogs and cats by hanging, skinning, and other means. During the search, the FBI says agents recovered multiple animal parts and skulls that were believed to be from dogs and cats. Scott could face up to 7 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a maximum fine of $250,000.
We don't want to survive. We want to thrive over here on the Far East Side.
In June, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and city leaders launched a partnership to reimagine public safety. It is the latest attempt to reduce crime in Indianapolis, and part of the city's process includes releasing a survey for people in Indianapolis to fill out to give feedback. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you, listening to the voices of those who are ready for improvements.
This community was rocked, not just this community, but this state.
Antonio Patton is standing just feet away from the spot where 2 teens were murdered last year.
It ripped my heart out of my chest.
He's a city life director for the Far East Side, but not only that, he's from the neighborhood and knew teenagers Nicholas and Ashlyn Nelson.
That blood actually revitalized the purpose within me that wakes me up every morning when I get up.
He's fired up about change, and he says if this city public safety survey can help in any way, he's all in.
Don't come in thinking you're going to fix us. We don't need to be fixed. We need opportunities.
For him, the questions here are just a starting point.
After the survey, to start placing things that's on that survey in this community.
The city says that's the plan. The city released a statement to RTV6 saying soon they'll be launching community conversations via Zoom to encourage more discussion and to get more feedback.
It's deeper than all of that. It's so much more than just what you see, like, on the top.
Jay Jones is a mother to a 3-year-old son. She didn't know about the survey until we showed up. But she believes her son's well-being rides heavily on improvements.
Because the kids, they grow up like that, seeing that every day. That's what they're going to come out here and do.
She says the top 3 issues that come to mind for her would be gun violence, homicides, and drugs.
He loves all the violence because that's all he sees. And, I want to let him go to the park, but it's like I have to be on him 24/7. I have to watch him.
Jones is looking at the survey, hoping something good comes of it so she can worry less. Working for you on the Far East Side, Troy Washington, RTV6.
The city says it designed the survey so that families without internet can submit input at their local library or through a shared computer lab space. People can also submit the survey from their smartphones. We've got a link to the survey when you read this story on our website, theindychannel.com, as well as when you use the RTV6 app.
A mother is dead and her 11-year-old son is in critical condition after a massive apartment fire on the city's west side. You could see the smoke for miles. The Speedway, Pike, Wayne Township, and Indianapolis fire departments all responded to Meadow Lake Apartments near West 34th Street and I-465 around 7:30 this morning. The Speedway Fire Department found the 11-year-old boy on the 2nd floor, and Wayne Township medics rushed him to Riley in critical condition. Speedway firefighters also found the boy's 42-year-old mother on the 2nd floor. Indianapolis EMS took her to Eskenazi Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Investigators say it is not clear what caused the fire.
Beautifying the community makes them take an honest interest in where they live at, and if they keep it beautiful, then they wouldn't want nobody to come in and destroy it.
This summer, teenagers on the north side are spending their days working, building pride for their community, and ultimately staying away from violence. Tonight, our Nicole Griffin is showing us how a summer work program is helping prepare these teens to be leaders.
On a hot summer day like today, kids with the Tarkington Teen Work Program are not spending their time indoors. Instead, they are out in their community cleaning up Tarkington Park, cleaning up nearby businesses. Leaders with the program say it's a way for them to build pride for their community, earn a paycheck, and also keep them out of trouble.
One day I got the news that my dad, he wasn't here anymore. Someone had took his life mistakenly. He wasn't even the person they were looking for.
Cartel Havard's father, Wade, was killed in 2015 in the same neighborhood where he is investing his time this summer.
That's one of the main reasons we don't live here today. But we still come here to visit our family, of course, but we want to get out of the city and try and find somewhere safe.
Havard now lives with his mom in Arizona, but for the last 3 summers when he comes to visit his grandparents in Indianapolis, he works with the Tarkington Park Teen Work Crew.
With our city being as homicide heavy as it is right now, we're trying to keep these young men out of trouble, and we're trying to keep them away from the violence, and we're trying to teach them how to be leaders and how to make good decisions.
The teens earn a weekly stipend to clean up the community. Damon Lee is their supervisor. He also grew up in Butler, Tarkington.
I was a lucky one that got away and went to college and came back, and a program like this saved my life.
I just try to make sure I don't hang around the wrong people or get involved with the wrong things, and make sure I and the people around me stay safe so no one else can get harmed like that.
Throughout the summer, they bring in counselors and therapists to help these kids who have lost loved ones to violence deal with the trauma they have faced. Lee hopes they all walk away with pride for their community and the skills they need to build a better future. Working for you, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Each April, there is an application process. The teens must go through an interview and then they are chosen to take part. Teenage girls also take part. They focus on building skills inside the MLK Community Center.
You may be hesitant to put your kids back in school during the COVID-19 pandemic. The free alternative option some families are now taking advantage of. What you need to know.
And I'm Dave Furst. Strange times for sure. None more strange, though, than trying to get football back up and going this fall in the state of Indiana. Center Grove, one of those teams, their story coming up in the Sports Action Spotlight.
And with the severe weather threat tonight, I am in the studio and we're watching the storms that sit over in Illinois for now, but they're moving quickly to the east. Talk about when they arrive, what to expect, and when temperatures soar coming up.
One local school district will become the first in the state to offer a new barricading safety tool designed to protect students and staff. Noblesville Schools has installed about 1,000 new door barricading devices in all school buildings across the district. The Hamilton County School System says the devices create a safe zone within school buildings during a crisis, allowing students and staff to fully barricade themselves in classrooms within seconds. The device can be deactivated from inside the classroom and still will allow first responders to get inside the room quickly. This comes a little more than 2 years after a student and teacher were shot at Noblesville West Middle School. Both survived.
With COVID-19 cases starting to increase again in Indiana, some families may be hesitant to put their kids back in school. But as RTV6's Stephanie Wade shows us, there's a new online option that families anywhere across the state can now take advantage of.
Back in March, Phelan Leadership Academies, with 12 schools teaching 5,000 children throughout Indiana, surveyed their families about returning to the classroom with fears over COVID-19.
About a third of our parents said they weren't comfortable sending their children back until there was some type of vaccine or some type of treatment.
So they created PLA Virtual, a new statewide tuition-free online school for families grades K through 12.
Side to side. And I say
we have somebody in the home who has a pre-existing condition. We have a really tight home situation. So I think PLA Virtual is great for that parent.
For us, the virtual learning is the safest option.
It's what David and Linda Rich opted for their adopted children, Bryant and Brianna.
I think because we have seen from a distance several family members get that COVID, they don't want to be a danger to myself and my husband either.
70 years old with diabetes and her husband, a cancer survivor. They feel this was the safest bet rather than risking being back in the classroom.
Now, I think it's not a good idea at this time because so much is changing with this virus The numbers are not going down as much as I would have thought by now. They're going up.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
And about 100 families are already signed up for PLA Virtual. The online program begins August 11th, and you still have an opportunity to sign up. If you need technology or Wi-Fi connectivity, they can help you with that. Kevin?
Before we get into tonight's challenges, just want to show you what's ahead. Consistently hot and humid Friday through Monday. Temperatures as warm as 95 with heat index values that will push 105. Not much relief overnight temperatures either. They'll stay in the 70s. It should be a pretty good looking evening as you look to the west now, but the storms will arrive in the western portion of the state before too long. 89 in Muncie, 87 in Indianapolis, Bloomington at 87. I've got Terre Haute on my mind because Terre Haute on up to Lafayette will see the arrival of storms first. We're dry in central Indiana now. Closest strong storm sits to the south of Kankakee. That will continue to move east-northeast and I think just missed Benton County and go into northwest Indiana. Long line of strong to severe storms. Peoria down to Springfield and St. Louis moving east quickly at 45 miles per hour. Timing that out, a ballpark of 8 p.m. arrival time. And areas may see it slightly later than that, especially the more south it goes. So Vincennes, for example, Sullivan might be a little bit later. Lightning makes every storm dangerous, but we don't put warnings out for lightning. It's damaging wind when the wind reaches 58 miles per hour or stronger and 1-inch diameter hail. The tornado threat is low tonight. It's not zero, but it's low. Damaging wind would be the main threat. With the arrival of the storms, as they continue to push into central Indiana, our air is more stable. In other words, it wants to resist building additional thunderstorms, and I think we'll start to see those lose strength as they kind of hit a wall of stability. Our Storm Shield app is free, and it's for your smartphone. It's a weather radio for your phone. Alarms will go off at your location wherever you're at with the phone. There you see from Peru to Terre Haute, Lafayette. Isolated showers and thunderstorms in the morning. They continue through the day tomorrow, but on a very hit and miss basis. Nothing like we're experiencing this evening arriving in the western portion of the state. Temperatures in the mid 80s. Enjoy that because we change Friday to 90 degrees. Chance of rain is low there. 7-day forecast. Temperatures over the weekend reach their peak on Sunday. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Heat index values about 105. Very uncomfortable. Thunderstorms more likely as we begin to see temperature relief early next week.
Good to know, Kevin. Thank you. After a day off in Orlando, the Pacers return to practice today, and there's growing optimism that Victor Oladipo will play when games resume August 1st. Oladipo originally said he wasn't going to play, but that was before he started scrimmaging with his team in Orlando. His surgically repaired right knee obviously feeling better than he thought it would.
You know, coming down here and, getting some practices in, getting my feet under me, going out there playing with the guys. There's a possibility that I could play. I'm definitely trying to. So I'm coming out here and working every day, working hard every day, trying to help my team, trying to help myself.
The Pacers play Portland a week from tomorrow in their first scrimmage of the resumed season.
And meanwhile, high school football workouts have begun around the state, and the season is scheduled to begin August 21st.
Center Grove is one of the favorites to win a championship this fall, all while the pandemic debate rages to play or not to play. Sports Director Dave First with the Sports Extra Spotlight.
You better get up early to beat Center Grove to the practice field. Trojan workouts begin at 8 a.m., but expectations for this group have seemingly come even earlier.
This team on paper is the best team we've ever had. But we had a 15-0 team that was pretty good, so we can't say they're better than them yet. They're all working on that today.
Head coach Eric Moore enters his 22nd season at CG. He returns nearly everyone from a team that went to the state finals last fall and firmly believes they can make it back this fall.
We tell our kids every year, us coaching staff here, we got the map to get there. Just trust us, trust me, and believe in us, and it can happen.
But the question is, will they have that chance? Like so many programs around the state, pandemic uncertainty appears to be the only cloud in the blue sky of this offseason.
We take temperatures in the parking lot and make sure nobody gets on the campus that's, not well. A lot of hand washing. Kids bring their own stuff. It's like the Little League football days, except their moms aren't sitting around here.
Full group period now, let's go!
Like the game itself, there are sides. Moore is a father, husband, son, and mentor, but also a coach that sees how hard his players have worked. Carson Steele is one of the best running backs in the state. Taven Jackson is a rising star at quarterback.
Right there. There you go.
Center Grove routinely cleans equipment. Players bring their own towels and water bottles, but the debate still rages at a higher level, to play or not.
I think pretty much all the coaches that coach, you want to be off or on. We're cold and hot. We don't. There's no warm in the middle. Let's either play or not play and be done. But I think we need to give this a chance.
At this point, there are as many options as a wing T formation, but ultimately hoping fall football doesn't become the fall of football.
The frustration about this is playing it out. And would you take only playing 3 games? Yeah, you take what they give you, but you want to. The thing about it is you can't keep young kids this age in this middle area. They can't concentrate that way. You got to let's go. Let's go to school and let's play football.
Playing out a season worth getting up for. Day first, RTV6 Sports.
Join us Friday night on the RTV6 Facebook page as we honor graduating seniors. It's the National Football Foundation Central Indiana Chapter Annual Scholastic Awards. Sports Director Dave First hosts as 15 student athletes from 14 area schools are selected, plus special honors like the Collegiate and Courage Awards. That's this Friday night at 7:30 only on the RTV6 Facebook page. We'll be right back.
Thunderstorms in Illinois now should cross the state line into western Indiana sometime between 8 and 9 o'clock this evening.